Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to the new video. I'm the Casual Racing Gamer, and today we are heading to Monza. And let me first start off by saying this is actually the first time I am actually racing this track. So I had to learn the track this week for Daily Race B. I've never raced on this track, so this is a new track to me. It took me a really long time to get my qualifying into the 149s. I struggled really hard to get there, but eventually I got there. I ended up with the GTR. I did start out with the Supra, but I did end up going to the GTR to pull my 149, the upper 149s. But I did spend a lot of hours on it. I definitely took a lot of time to learn this track. And in this video, hopefully this is going to help you improve in racing in a track like this, where there's a lot of spots where I call danger zones. And tracks with danger zones is very frustrating for a lot of drivers. And we're going to try to tell you, how I navigate through it to get better finishes. My first couple of races, it was a struggle. And then I just, I got smart about it. And then I realized what had to be done in order to, get a decent finish and not wreck, not get punted, not punt somebody else, because, we're frustrated when we get hit from behind, but this track also leaves a lot open for you to hit someone from behind. So let's take a look at it. I'm starting in P9. Middle of the pack. It's kind of a danger zone. Turn one, we're coming into a chicane, and this is a race where, and it's not just this race, but it's going to be a lot of races where you can't be afraid to let cars pass you. You have to pick your battles. You have to be smart about it. You have to know if a car is faster than you, just let them go. Let them go in front of you. Don't worry about cars passing you. There will be opportunities for you to get them back. It's a 5-lap race. There's also a good chance that they're going to just mess up. They're going to screw up. They're going to run off the track. They're going to punt someone. They're going to get into a battle. And coming into turn one, and this is where we have to be really smart, because first of all, your safety rating is going to be based on you hitting cars in front of you. There's a lot of races where I've got hit from behind, and I don't lose any safety rating, and I've gotten clean bonuses even when I've gotten punted off the track. So you need to be conscious of driving good with the cars in front of you. You don't want to ram a car in front of you. Coming into turn one, like a chicane like that, you need to brake early. You can't be thinking if your brake marker is the 150, you have to brake way before that. You're not running a qualifying time here. You're running a race, and that's why you have to be smart about it. You can't always think about being the fastest. Again, if you're one of those drivers that can drive the car to the absolute limit all the time and navigate safely like that. But if you're a casual racer like me, and this is what this is, this is what this is based off of. This is, again, I always claim that I'm just a casual sim racer. I'm not great, I'm not good. I just spend a lot of time on improving, and I just try to race smarter, not harder. If I race harder is when I run into problems. It's when I actually have bad finishes. It's when I get into wrecks, and not only because it's someone else's fault, but because of my fault, because of my bad driving, because I'm trying to drive harder. This is a race where it was me driving smarter. I consciously went into this race after having some bad races at Monza, when I said, okay, I need to be smarter about this. I was able to evaluate how other cars were driving, what things were happening, how many other cars were just wrecking themselves and running off the course. As you drive, you just see people off the side of the road. That's why you have to be smart. So instead of braking late, I'm really braking early. I'm making sure I'm making those turns. I'm not running off the track, and I'm safely driving to the cars in front of me. I'm braking early where I'm not risking where, oh man, if I skid a little bit, I'm ramming the car in front of me. Yeah, you can just see I broke early to just get out of that mess in front of me. I didn't want to be in that mess. If I would have broke hard, broke later, I would have been in that mess we would have been 3 cars, and we probably would have all wrecked each other. But instead, I pulled back a little bit. I let them go, and I just found my spot. I'm okay falling back. You have to be okay falling back if you want to move ahead. So don't always think aggressive. Don't always think battle. You have to just know your boundaries. You have to know if cars are faster than you. Are they faster than you that are behind you? If they're not catching you and you're running like a good pace, the car behind you staying where they are, and they're just, then you guys are pretty even. But if there's a car that's all the way down in your mirror, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, he's like on your bumper, he caught you. He's faster than you. How hard you want to battle with him is going to be up to you. But for me, if he's pulling up on the side of me and we're going into a turn, I'm going to give it to him. I know he's faster than me because he caught me. If he didn't catch me, then, you know, I know I have the speed. But if he caught me from far behind, he has the speed. He's going to pass me. So why battle and risk losing a spot? Now, again, letting someone pass you is, you run your line, right? Don't move out of the way and be like, okay, he's faster than me, so I'm gonna move over. You run your line, and they have to be willing, you know, they have to leave the racing line to pass you. They have to make the move where they can make it to pass you safely. If you start driving where they're not going to expect you to drive, then you're looking for a problem. So if you drive your line, they're gonna pull up, you know, on the side of you. And if they pull up on the side of you and you're running into a turn, that's the point where I'm going to brake early and let them overtake me. If we're side by side, I'm going to brake earlier than them, and I'm going to let them pull in front of me there. So I'm always going to let them make their move, let them pass me the safest way possible without me ruining their day, and hopefully they don't ruin my day. But again, you want to be predictable. You don't want to be unpredictable, because that's going to ruin both of your races. So let the faster car pass you. I'm running P9 here. I have P10 right on my tail. Pretty close. Again, I'm just gonna run my race. I'm not gonna, you know, slow down to let them pass me. You know, I'm not saying slow down and let cars pass you. Just run the pace you're comfortable with. Don't think you have to drive faster because there's a car, and unfortunately I pick up a penalty there, which is unfortunate. You definitely have to be careful with penalties. Even when I drive safe and drive slow and take turns slow, I still pick up penalties. It's really tough there, but as you can see, I let Risky pass me there. I have a half a second penalty. I know he's going to pass me anyway if he's right on my bumper. So, you know, there's no reason to battle hard here. I'll let him pull ahead of me. You know, we're in lap 3 of 5. We still have a couple laps left where we can catch if we need to. For me, a good day is if I finish where I start at least, or a spot or 2 up is a good day. If I finish more than that, then it's even a better day. Top 8, you're always looking, if you can finish top 8, I'm always happy finishing anywhere in top 8, because usually that's a DR. They'll up your DR rating for there, and you won't go down. So top 8 is usually pretty good. Of course, you can finish further back and still get your DR rating up if you finish ahead of cars with higher DR ratings than you. Now this lobby, I'm a low A in this race right now. I do bounce between low A and high B, and yeah, that's just the type of driver I am. I think when I get to A, I'm kind of outclassed a little bit, so I definitely have to drive even smarter when I'm at an A to stay in an A. And again, this is a new track for me, so this whole thing was new, and these races were new, and it wasn't a track I'm comfortable with. When I have to learn a new track, I struggle, guys. I just want you to know, you only see the finished product, but I am the fullest, you know, casual racing gamer that you can be. Hours and hours and hours for me to learn a new track, which is why I like seeing the same tracks over and over again in GT7, because I don't have to learn a new track. If I have to learn a new track, and I haven't learned a new track in a while, but this week I was like, okay, I'm going to put some time in. Let me race Monza. Let me learn a new track. It didn't look too complicated as far as turns, because it kills me if there's a lot of turns and I have to learn all these brake markers and turns and everything else. So I felt like, okay, this was a good week to learn a new track. I haven't learned a new track in a while, so this will be fresh and probably a very risky track to learn, because again, there's a lot of danger zones in this track, but I'm okay with it. You know, I didn't feel like I did too bad, and especially when I started driving smarter, I had better finishes, and I saw my DR rating actually go up instead of down. But I did have some really bad races before this one, where my actually safety rating went down to an A. So I had some bad races then I had to like regroup myself, and I had to be like, okay, I'm causing a lot of this because I am driving too hard. So that's when I settled back, and yes, I got my driver rating back to an S, because I just needed to be smarter. I didn't have to drive harder, and that's why your safety rating, if you drive smarter, is going to be easy to keep at a higher rating, because you're not over driving, you're not driving aggressively, you're not slamming cars in front of you because you're looking to brake at the last possible moment. You're braking early, you're willing to lose spots, you're willing to fall back a little bit. And if I fall back without wrecking, that it's not as frustrating than when I fall back because I get punted, or I wreck because I overdrive a turn, or you know, I'm driving too aggressively with the car next to me and we just battle it and then we end up both, you know, taking each other out, or I get taken out. That's very frustrating to me. It's not frustrating if I fall back racing a clean race where I didn't get into trouble. Now, you can be different. You might like to race differently. You might not get as frustrated, but I know a lot of drivers probably get frustrated when you get into a wreck, you get spun out and you fall from like 7th, 8th, 9th to 16th. That's very frustrating. I'd rather fall from 7th, 8th and stay in 9th because I'm driving and letting cars pass me that need to, because here, you know, you see cars wrecking right here. It's going to happen. And I pull into P8 right there. Now, if I can keep P8, that's good. I have Phelps on my tail, pretty close, right? So I know he's there. Unfortunately, I picked up a 1 second penalty. That was bad, right? That was bad right here. But like I said, even when I drive slow and careful, I still pick up penalties. It's really hard here. But I needed to finish 1 second ahead of Phelps to keep my P8 because I didn't have to slow down there. Last lap where I got that penalty, it'll just take it off at the end. So I knew I needed to finish 1 second faster than P9, which luckily I did. So this was just an example of a race smarter, not harder drive. And finishing P8, you know, it did give me an up on my DR, which is always a good day. I finished 1 spot ahead of where I started. And to me, that's a good finish. I wasn't frustrated. I didn't get mad. I had a good race. It was clean. I didn't get spun out. I didn't wreck anyone else. I didn't ruin anyone else's day. And to me, that's what this is all about. So you can have good races at Monza on a short 5-lap race. You just need to really be smart. And you need to also use these techniques on other tracks as well. It will definitely help you. It'll definitely help your safety rating go up, and it'll definitely help your DR rating go up. So if you guys are down in lower lobbies, like a D or C or even low B, use this technique. You'll be surprised how much better you'll start finishing and how much better you'll be racing and how much more you'll probably enjoy it, because you won't be as frustrated getting wrecked. Or I know a lot of times you like to blame other people for mistakes, but I know as well as you do that we make a lot of mistakes ourselves. So the whole thing is avoiding your own mistakes, which will help you get better finishes. So hopefully this video helped you out, guys. Thumb it up, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. We out of here. Peace.